It wouldn't have mattered either way.
We should have done what I said. I mean, the first thing, not the blowing you guys up thing.
What about blowing guys?
I mean,
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons. He says in a very high voice. Yes, we are back here. Black Tower Stories, Adventures in Athoria, for chapter 103. Last time, our adventurers kind of did some chilling and stuff in the city, was dealing with some new Volred family drama, and then decided it was past time for you guys to head to Avedon, to the Temple of Rareva, and meet up with Daith, the cleric of the Forge that is there and crafts specialty weapons. You learned that apparently the swords that Calum had handed over to be reforged were sentient. And so in the forging process, their personality kind of came to the forefront, and they had very strong opinions as to what shape they could take, which resulted in the blade becoming a scimitar, and then was ultimately left in Yandre's care. But at this point in time, you guys have departed the Temple of Rareva. It's still late morning on the 26th day of the second seed, with really whatever else you guys want to do here in Avedon before you. You guys obviously still have whatever's going on with Volred's family. Then, you know, Yandre has some more complicated parts to his backstory that you guys are going to be unable to nope at some point. And then whatever the hell's going on with Caleb.
My family's fine right now. Like, they just need to find a place to move to. And I eventually need to talk to my brother, but that can all be later.
The moody teen.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like Volred too much right now.
weren't we also gonna try to see if he wants to like start in the academy or whatever?
I actually planned on talking to him before we left, but y'all really, Eric, you were like, okay, so anyways, you're on your way. And I was like,
yeah,
oh.
Well, sorry. In some cases, you know, I try to get things moving along, but you guys can be a real talkative bunch, so sometimes. But yeah, sorry. That's not a knock or anything. I'm just saying that, like, sometimes when it goes on and on a long time, I tend to speed stuff. So.
All right, what else do we have to do in the city?
I think this is it. I think we just came to get the weapon, and then we were going to head to the sanctum.
Did we want to stop and see if there was any place that would be suitable for Volred's family?
This is kind of close.
Yeah, fuck them, they're fine.
Plus, I think they already had their heart set on Eladon. I think was their prime real estate area.
Yeah.
Eladon's that small town? Is that a different one?
It is the third largest city within the archipelago.
Okay.
It's that place where you guys bombed the mansion, and Yandre has, or not Yandre, Arthur has a grow op somewhere out in the forest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's also where the goblins of Arbot was, and where Gorbek got in his whole thing.
When you said bum the mansion, I was thinking of the criminal place that we were at, but that was in the same town that we're already in. So now,
yeah, that was like
that was
200 feet from where you guys are at presently.
We're in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, if you guys just head up the road.
We are the bad neighborhood.
Yeah, if you guys just head up the road and hang a right at the square, it's like right there. So, yeah, you're in the same little neighborhood subdivision.
Keeps the taxes down. That's all that matters.
Yeah. What
At the
taxes?
very least, if you guys need a quick way to get out of the city, you can always break in there. and then escape through the tunnels. Shit, I really should be giving you ideas.
I mean,
Please continue.
we have other ways of escaping, but no, let's do a B&E on our way out.
Hey,
You don't need to
that's,
do a B&E.
Sometimes you just...
that's the way you guys do it, you know?
Alright, so want to head back to the Sanctum then? Because I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we are.
The Sanctum and not our house, correct?
Right.
Okay. You guys heading from Greenbrier this morning. Make your way to the Temple of Areva. Stay all of 5 minutes. Turn around and leave and go teleport right back where you walked from. So, yep. Swoon. Flash of light. I mean, you guys have to go track down Kelmac, who at this particular moment is wandering aimlessly.
That's it.
Yeah. Spell goes off. You guys head back to the Astral Observatory in the Sanctum. Nice and quiet. Whatever you guys want to do at this point.
I know Izal was talking about giving up the actual board between everybody.
We got time now.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo. Pulling up my Mage's Temple page.
Yandre would probably be heading towards the library.
Okay.
Is the library open?
I mean, all the rooms are open. You just have to study the painting.
Reading is fundamental.
I'm just saying, the looks you and Ari had let me know that there's something that was going over my head, and I'm just not gonna respond. So
It's not going over your head as much as it's going around your wrist.
okay. So Yandre heads to the library. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Math.
Ah, yes, your favorite subject in school.
We're going to go speak to the elementals.
I'm gonna look at myself in a mirror.
I'm looking
Fair enough.
at my man.
Yandere, anything in particular you're going to search for?
Realistically, probably more history on weapons and just see if there's anything that we can use to better understanding of here. So just kind of like weapon knowledge.
Okay. So you can head in there and speak first to Aeon. He is the nimble right that basically he is the keeper of his specialty is knowledge retrieval and oral history, and he is the individual who knows everything that exists within the library. And so with his help, you're able to kind of pick out a few choice volumes to kind of narrow down the search. And so you can begin with that. And then, Caleb, you were going to go see the elemental attendants that are in the forge.
Yes.
Okay. I believe this is the first time that you guys have actually made your way into the forge itself, I thought.
Nope. I've been there once before and tried to see and talk to them.
They didn't like
Oh,
us.
About-
right. But they didn't give you the time of day. They didn't
Yes.
much like you.
This is the second time, and after the other place has been open, and I'm assuming they have gone to go speak to the master in the other location.
Okay.
Because they
So,
said that they were going to. So now I'm going to go talk to them.
All right. So you head back down into the elemental forge, which, as you recall, is this kind of basement utility hallway type situation with these large kind of cast iron pipes that kind of go everywhere. The center of the area is in a kind of recessed spot that has like a waterfall of lava that makes its way through to handle the actual forges, everything from creating the hot water to smelting iron and things of that nature. You see numerous fire elementals going through and heating some of the blast furnaces. You see an earth elemental who's in the process of hammering out different pieces of metal, while steam and water elementals are kind of going through, adjusting knobs, making sure that everything is rushing along. You meet one of the air elementals in one place, kind of shoots out from kind of a gust of warm wind, kind of takes a somewhat humanoid type shape, and then speaks out in broken common. What are you doing here?
I'm here to speak to the Master of the Forge.
I see. Well, I suppose he should have some time. Go on ahead, but be forewarned, it's quite hot.
Thank you very much.
And then he kind of bursts and rush past you. You're already kind of starting to sweat and perspire a little bit under the armpits. But as you make your way into the Master of the Forge, this kind of rather large earth elemental that's got these big kind of metal plates kind of strapped to him. It's kind of in the process of just kind of smacking pieces of metal. You see nothing other than like two little gemstone eyes kind of beadily staring down at the workpiece. They kind of flit over and look to you as you kind of approach the forge, and he just goes right back to swinging the hammer.
Does it look like he's going to finish in a moment and speak to me, or is he just ignoring me?
He seems to be ignoring you. He seems to have registered your presence and then just gone back to continue his task.
All right. Excuse me, my good sir.
And with that, the beat stops. He looks back over to you again. What do you want, human? And then just goes back to hammering.
Well, seeing as we are now the new residents of the sanctum, I figured I would introduce myself now that we've reconnected the room to the I can't remember what the room that we destroyed the thing for.
The secret garden.
Now that the connection to the secret garden has been fixed.
And there's kind of a moment there. It slams the hammer. You mean your friend restored it? Ting.
At my request, yes.
Kind of looks back. Is there some reason you did not do it?
My friend has more capabilities than I do.
Then perhaps he should be the master.
Perhaps, but I'm the one you're stuck with.
Stuck indeed. So, what is it you want from me?
Well, I was speaking to the previous master of this area, and he told me that I needed to gain favor with each of the individual rooms in the sanctum. So I am here. What do you require? What can I do for you? What do you need?
At the moment, we are fulfilling our duties admirably. I need nothing, but that may change if you want me to do something for you.
You don't need anything, but is there anything that you
And kind of thinks for a long moment.
You've been here for hundreds of years. There has to be something that you want.
I suppose there are a few things. I would like a large piece of magic stone. A red one filled with evocation fire magic. It needs to be large, like the size of a person. That way, I could get the magic forge back up and running.
I will look into what I can do about that.
Good luck.
He just goes back to hammering. He's talking to me.
This is all. This is all like, as I'm like, I'm sitting there and he's ignoring me. I'm like, how am I gonna get that? How am I gonna transport that? What the? But yes, that would be, and that's the conversation that I'm going to try and have with each of the individual rooms, or the masters of the rooms, to see what I can do to gain favor with them. And we can RP it, or you can just tell me what I need.
So, wait, you're gonna head back to the astral. You're gonna the timeless chamber. Are you heading to the timeless chamber, or are you heading to the library?
Right now, I'm going to head to the library because I need to ask them if they know of anything about the item that I just need to get. But you said that I need to gain favor with each of the different rooms of the sanctum, so that whenever I do cast the sanctum spell, the room will attune to me. Correct?
Yeah, it's also that the rooms will only go and perform their essential functions, and won't do anything that isn't not part of their essential functions unless you kind of get some renown. Plus, I mean, the place could, use some maintenance to try and reestablish some of its more ancillary features.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to establish. Just help that along.
Yep. Alright, so, Yandre, you were spending time in the library doing some research.
Correct.
So, yeah, you're kind of deep in research. You see kind of, like, after a while, Caleb pops in, and he seems to be kind of doing his own research. Are you looking for something in particular, or are you just spending a few hours or something just trying to fill in some holes?
Genuinely just trying to get additional information that I probably wouldn't have had about this weapon. Specifically, the material that we used to forge this weapon, just because that was relatively interesting for it to be able to maintain and contain souls. So probably like understanding the properties behind it.
Okay. Well then, why don't you go ahead and roll me an intelligence check at advantage?
Thanks for the advantage, because I'm gonna need it.
Well, you're in an arcane library that's got a lot of information.
And people that know exactly what's in each and every book.
So 18.
18. Okay. So with that, I'll say that you can ask 2 questions or get more information on 2 specific topics. So which 2 would you say are the things you want to know most?
How is this specific material able to contain souls? And then 2 would be, where is this material located?
Okay. Yes. So Shadow Steel is native to the Shadowfell, one of the darker planes of sorrow, misery, and despair. It basically forms like the Feywild. It is a mirror realm that exists with emotion, whereas the Feywild is the plane of ecstatic emotion and mania and chaos. The Shadowfell is its exact opposite. It's the world of no emotion and of sorrow and despair. Now, creatures that travel into the Shadowfell are often overtaken by that sorrow and eventually become some form of shadow spawn to forever dwell farther within. Their souls are basically returned to the darkness that lies within that realm, and that darkness forms so much that like a hive mind, in the sense that the darkness is a somewhat sentient element within the Fey or within the Shadowfell, and siphoning off some of that spirit to crystallize it into Shadow Steel is particularly how it's done. It can usually take one of 2 forms, either Shadow Steel in its crystalline form, which is what Aranthir is currently in, or you can take crystalline in a metallic form, whereas crystalline pieces of shadow crystal are kind of broken down and smelted in with iron, steel, and other things as to use sort of as a binder, which was the sword's original forging. Because the shadow used to make the shadow steel is actually created from despondent souls itself, the shadow is natural soul energy, which makes it a very good conduit for spiritual or soul-based magic in general, which is also why it is so good at trapping souls. So the practice of manipulating that kind of power is called noctomancy, and it is a very or not so well known and understood art. It was practiced more widely in the Third Age, not so much anymore though. But there are texts regarding noctomancy and shadow casting here in the library. They are, however, in a language that you nor any of the automatons speak.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And then, Jan, or Volred, how long do you stare in the mirror, would you say, before you start looking to do something else?
Oh, but a few minutes. And then, how long is the rest of this taking?
It's probably taking a couple hours. I imagine, like, you're spending some time in the mirror. Eventually, the childlike servitors kind of come and start, "Oh, hello, Mr. Volred. You need a drink?" And they will, like, start to bring you, like, charcuterie with grapes and stuff. They'll bring you some wine. Just kind of wait on you hand and foot because you happen to be the only person in the living quarters at the moment. Yeah, so once you get bored with that.
I'm going to attempt to sleep again.
Okay. So you're gonna go and try and take some sleepies. And then what you up to is all?
I'm literally going through the horde and trying to divide it out evenly. I turned down my volume, by the way, on my end, so I'm typing and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I had to, mute the campaign Discord. Not for the reason I normally have to.
But I was typing loud, so I had to turn down my volume for the stream. But I'm literally going through the horde and trying to divide it out evenly. So.
Yep. And at that point in time, like, some of the servitors would be there to help you too, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, sure, let's get boxes," and they'll like start helping you divide stuff.
Like these are assigning monetary values to the. I got the gem set up, but now I gotta divide up the art so the art prices out evenly. Because there's one gem that's 5,000 gold. I'm trying to balance it out so that one's. I'm trying to get everyone else even to the 5,000 at this point. It's hard.
Is that the diamond or the star ruby?
I don't freaking know. I just saw a gem 5,000 and I didn't look at which one it was. I think it's a diamond. So we might ixnay that one just as a.
Yeah, it's a diamond.
Right.
It's a single diamond worth 5,000.
So now I have to make
which
two.
Actually means it's suitable for resurrection.
So it means I have to make two versions of this list. One where someone gets that, and one where someone doesn't get that. Because it's a spell component. Alright, so I'm doing that right now.
Yep. Or like if that's your emergency diamond, it's like break glass in case of emergency, and you break it, and you're like, what? Oh, fuck, I just punched the diamond.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, alright, yeah. The boring work.
Auditing.
Yep.
Okay. We'll have you know that Reggie has already compiled a list of all of this stuff. You're just separating it out.
I'm trying to separate it. Yeah, I've seen the list and everything. And I have mine too, but I'm trying to divide it out evenly between 5 people, including the art and the gems, because the gems fluctuate and so does the art. So like, alright, this way someone's not getting 10,000 gold and one person has way too much.
Tell you, man.
I will say,
just combine your finances. Get a party
so
fund.
I can save some time on this. Do we want to just say the 5,000 gold diamond is a set-aside item that is not for an individual? That way I don't have to do this twice. Okay, because I won't do this twice then.
Yeah, because you pretty much know what that's going to be used for.
That's a just-in-case item. Alright.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
And that was me, the Dungeon Master, being very nice and particularly picking a diamond for that purpose. Because, who knows? Bull Red might die again. I mean, it'd probably be Calum, let's be honest. But...
Well, I am king of the Deadpool.
Yes. But, but you were smart, though. You're trying to become friends with a death goddess, so that way you can cash in some chips when you need to. Instead of a 5,000 gold diamond, 5,000 gold worth of favors. Saying, you never know. Probably been a while. So, yes, Caleb, what specifically were you looking up again? Specifically about the Mage Shard?
Yeah, I need to know where I would even find a Mage Shard of that large, as well as how to transport a Mage Shard the size of a human. Because I don't know if you know this, but Caleb has a weight limit of a lot less than that.
Yeah.
165 pounds.
Yeah. I don't think all of you together could lift a raw piece of elemental midstone.
I also
large.
think it would let.
Yes. Well, mostly your research is gonna have to focus on like where such a thing might be found, because mage stones and mage shards are things that can generally be purchased, particularly mage shards. Mage stones harder. So you do have some sense of what those are. But go ahead and roll me an intelligence check at advantage. And this is not Arcana, so you don't get to add a d4.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do intelligence, not saving throw, but intelligence check. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I add. No, I don't add two.
It's
that would be
d20 plus intelligence.
17.
Okay. Yeah, so Mage Stone, as you know, is a sort of crystalline. Well, it is a crystalline mineral, a type of crystal cluster that grows deep in the ground along the rivers of mana. They grow heaviest in places where rivers of mana converge. Over time, magic saturates an area, and then as minerals get deposited, much like radiation, they become imagiated and form large magical crystals. The smallest pieces of which are sold as mage shards and can be used to provide as energy or raw magical focuses towards spells. You own a couple. The larger the shard, the more powerful a spell it is capable of being used for. The largest crystals are often used to power stationary magics, such as teleportation circles, way gates, mythals in the ancient days. And that the larger the stones are, they can take on elemental properties, so that way they gain additional bonuses when their energy is used to the casting of certain kinds of spells. You aren't really sure. There are several places you could look. You actually recall seeing wild mage shards in the waterfall Druid Grove beneath Mount Arbot. When you guys were there with Gorbeck, the druids there actually mined mage shards for their own purposes. You also recall Eladath's, the water dragon spirits. Underground Lair was one large magic stone geode. So those are the places you've seen. So with that, yeah, you would have to look for places that likely lie on a convergent boundaries of two or more rivers of mana, and are places that are where powerful magic has resided. You also know that there are some places that are said to exist like that in the Silver Mountains. And then there are also places beneath the ocean that were once elven locations that would have it. You would know elven ruins and cities were generally always built on ley lines. So ancient elven ruins are probably deep beneath those are going to be your best bet to find some. Or places nearby those areas.
Okay. Do I have any idea of if I were to buy one, the size that I need, about how much it would cost?
You wouldn't, because like I said, usually stones that large are charged for mythals and such, so they're rather rare if you can find them. But also, particularly here, any stone of that size would immediately be confiscated and taken to the Athenaeum.
Yeah.
Since magic stones in general are a highly regulated industry here. You actually would also know Fern Morden, down there near where Lady Sabine lives, that city nearby, is known for its mining operations and has one of the larger Mage Shard mines currently active in the Empire at the moment. You would know that. That would have been buried deep in the lore pages I gave you at the start of the campaign, so no worry.
So if I were to find, so I would need to actually find one and keep it hidden from any adventurer guild that I go through.
Yeah.
The easiest place in my head would be going back to the Elven Ruin that we left.
Like Carol Mare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could try that. I mean, you haven't seen any Mage Shard there, but presumably, if that place had a mythal, it would have such a shard in order to power it.
Yeah, because he did say that there was a mythal there.
Yes, it was said that there was a mythal there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in searching that,
I mean, Izal would know of one other place, due to her grandfather's journal, but yeah.
For now, I would actually then, after I finish that research, then I would head to the Sacred Forest.
Secret Garden?
Yeah, Sacred Garden.
Yeah, the Secret Garden, like the book. Okay, Volred.
Hey.
You don't have a whole lot of practice with this whole sleeping thing, and it's even harder to do when you're not really tired. But nonetheless, the one bedroom that exists within this sanctum is well equipped with a luxurious feather-down bed that is honestly nicer than even the one you had at your palace. So if nothing else, I mean, this place is magic. You know, it's got magic, so that way it's always fluffed to optimum fluffage.
Fluff.
Yeah, it's like magic sleep number with the cooling gel.
Okay.
But yes, so you begin to sleep, and if you could roll me a d20 right quick.
Does an 18 hit?
18 does hit. It depends on whether or not you think that is a good thing. You're kind of just sitting alone to the darkness, just kind of letting the thoughts kind of run out of your head. And then you start to feel as though you're sinking, as if beneath water. You've heard Calum express this feeling once or twice, just kind of casually, as when he explains his visions. But there's no kind of cold sensation. But you do start to feel a slight kind of tugging, as if you're moving ever faster towards a location. You fight off the urge to breathe, partially for terror, the fact that you might actually be underwater. But as you finally gasp for breath, you find the air sweet and fills your lungs, and you feel restored. You chance opening up your eyes, and you see a sea of stars. In the far distance, you see what looks like a thin line of orange. And then just at the distance on the horizon, the sun rises up. And as it speeds across the sky, you see its light hit down on the black in front of you, or between you and the sun. to show a wide expanse, a series of large islands formed in some kind of a rough circle, completely surrounded by water. A large sort of funnel of multicolored storm, writhing and swirling in the middle and sending itself outward, as if threatening all of the islands at its periphery. Something catches your sight, a glint, down in the southwestern part of the archipelago. Your vision shifts and you begin to walk through a familiar location. A town you've been at before. It's the one near where you died. Kind of looking around, the place seems similar, colorful though, since you had visited in winter, and now the large tree in the center of town is blooming. There's vines all over the place. Everyone seems quite happy. You can, at the extent of your senses, you can kind of feel the power of Ganiti from her shrine to the east of you. But then something cold kind of washes over you like dread. Though you don't see anything wrong. But then you hear thunder. And as you look up and hearing more thunder but seeing no lightning, a storm cloud begins to set in over the top of the town. Some of the people around are glancing, wondering what's going on, assuming, of course, that this is perhaps some rapid expansion of the rift. All of a sudden, a gentle snow begins to fall on the city. And you hear the sounds of horses echoing, neighing and whinnying through the sky. As you glance up, there's a small break when it seems this long line of mounted horsemen start descending from the sky and rushing down towards the settlement. They hit the ground out of the water. As they do and begin speeding towards town, the ground freezes beneath their hooves. People begin to shout out in stark panic as you see little lights appear amongst the riders. Arrows loose out towards the town, hitting with devastating impact. Fires are beginning to rage throughout town, providing some warmth to your body. But as you're kind of standing in the middle of this thoroughfare, people rushing about, you look down as at the head of this cavalcade of hunters making a beeline directly towards you lies an individual, bare-chested but tattooed, wearing a loincloth and pants. The loincloth is made of some kind of animal pelt. In one hand, he carries a bow. In the other, he carries a fistful of arrows. He is headless. Those that follow behind him, similarly undead-type looking creatures, elves and therianthropes, kind of moving around in a model of different armor. Some look like barbarians or brigands, others look like trained soldiers. Nonetheless, they're all rushing, shouting, with these eyes that glow with this kind of pale blue light. They move and they cut down anyone who comes near them. But the head of that, the headless man who stands or is riding along the front, the vanguard of the cavalcade, is just making a beeline towards you. You're not sure whether or not he's rushing towards you because you stand in the middle of the thoroughfare, or yet somehow it feels as though he's moving particularly towards you. There's a panic that rises in your heart, and in the distance, you hear the roar of some fearsome beast. And you awake. Dripping with sweat a little bit, some of your fine golden curls kind of matted to your face. But alone in the chamber.
Okay. So Vorad's gonna just pop up out of bed and kind of do a frantic 360 of the place and, come to the quick realization of where I am. And then after taking a moment to center myself and kind of do some breathing exercises for like a minute or two, thinks it over and proceeds to attempt to find Calum.
Okay. As you make your way out of the room, the servitors are kind of going, "Oh, hello, sir. Oh, yeah." And they start they're kind of following you and like casting prestidigitation to kind of like dry off the sweat, floof the curls, just like being annoying but helpful, I guess, at the same way.
Yeah, I think at some point I kind of put my hand up and kind of push one's face away.
Yeah, and he's just like,
"Sorry, thank you."
And then you start moving around, Calum, books. Where are books? Books.
And then I think I would turn around and go back to the person I probably pushed in the face. And how tall are they? I assume they're short.
Yeah, I mean, they're childlike, so you would probably guess maybe about 4 feet tall.
And I'd find the one and just kind of kneel down a little bit and say, I'm sorry I pushed you away. I did not mean to be rude.
It's fine. Is there something I can help you with?
Where is the library?
The library. Go through that portrait, hang a left. It'll be the second portrait on your left. It's the one that looks like it's filled with books.
Oh. That's right.
That is annoyingly helpful.
I should pay attention to my surroundings a lot better. Thank you.
My pleasure. Oh, that's unfortunate. Can I get you a beverage? Maybe some cookies?
How long would this take?
I can have them sent right over the library. They'll be waiting for you when you arrive.
Okay, why not?
Okay. Okay. He just starts kind of walking off back towards where the kitchens are supposed to be. A few moments later, Calum, you're sitting here, moving through some books. You set a stack of books off to the side, and all of a sudden you're as a plate of cookies just appears on top of a stack of books next to you for some unknown reason.
Cookies or just cookies?
Cookies. A stack of decorative cookies.
Thanks. And Caleb just starts eating the cookies.
Yep. Volred, you make your way over to the library. You can kind of see both Yandere and Caleb there, but kind of sitting at separate tables. Surprisingly enough, Yandere's got more books out than Caleb does. At this point in time, Caleb's in the process of kind of looking at kind of a really not so nicely drawn map, kind of making squiggles on the page and then circling some areas.
Yandere, Caleb, good morning, afternoon, evening.
Good night.
Hello there. What are you doing?
Caleb, would you like to explore the garden?
Of course. I was
Let's
just
go.
about to go there. Want a cookie?
Yes, take the plate. Unless, Yandere, would you like us to leave some cookies for you?
No, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere while I was reading. It was pretty awesome.
This place is purely magic, I assume.
It is. And then I will head towards the next room.
Yes,
With
we
the
go
cookies.
to the garden.
Yes. As soon as you guys are away, Yandere, this voice kind of creeps into your head. Do they normally spend time together? Sorry, I just didn't expect Mr. Red to be the studious sort. Or is it that they have something they don't want you to know?
It's probably a little bit of both. Red and I have not had the greatest agreements recently, and I feel that there is some secrets that he is attempting to keep from me given our recent interactions. But he may be learning to, as we say around, turn over a new leaf.
Could have gone with touch grass.
Well, I suppose that's all right. Still, are you hoping to maybe create a new copy of me or something?
No, I just want to understand how you work, especially since you have over 100 souls trapped in you. It's an interesting thought process behind it, and something that I feel needs to be explored a little bit more, especially if you want me to let some of you go.
I suppose that would work. I mean, I can't say that I know much anything about us, I guess, other than it really hurt to get stabbed by, well, the us that was there before I was part of the us. This whole, like, amalgamation of souls thing is really kind of weird.
Yeah, so from what I can tell, it was at least the blade or the material came from the Shadowfell, and I imagine that being killed by whatever material consumes the soul, which is how you ended up where you are.
Okay, but so since I decided to, or we decided to stay, does that mean we can't move on? Am I stuck as a sword or something? Or do I die? Do I just, is it nothing? Or do I go to hell? Or how does that work?
Do you want me to give you a nice answer or a real answer?
Well, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to lie, I would rather you say nothing than lie. Unless you're gonna lie and tell me the good thing. You know what? Let's just stop the conversation, because I'm starting to feel like I really don't want to know the answer.
Fair. Well, if you should know the answer, I'm always here.
Okay. And then you saw, with the help of the servitors, you're just going to continue to do some organization stuff, or do you have something you want to handle?
I just said it to the chat. I'm so proud of myself. It's as balanced as I could get it.
Fair enough. Now that all that's done, you're kind of taking a look, and the servitors are going, well, that was fun.
Where's everyone at?
At this particular moment, Master Yandre is in the library talking to his sword. Master Kelmac is sleeping somewhere. And Master Kalen and Master Volred are heading their way towards the secret garden. And you are here.
Okay. Oh, has anyone come to the sanctum that isn't our group, Master Falerion, or Gander, in the last 6 months?
Well, yes. There was a group of adventurers that came back when Master Artanax was here, but he killed them violently.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about them. Alright, I'm gonna go, I guess, tell them it's all been divvied up then.
Okay.
Wasn't that our imposters?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, I guess I'll move on to some other fun work. It's been a while since I've cleaned the baseboards. I guess I'll do with that.
Ooh, riveting. I'm gonna go to the bathroom first. Bye.
Bye. Let me know if you need some help.
But I won't.
Okay.
I'd go to the bathroom though.
It's like, damn, are we gonna start, like, in character, like, hold up, I gotta go drop a deuce.
Like, now it is time for you to attack the fabled dark dragon. I drop a deuce right there in front of the dragon.
Roll for Constitution.
Oh, okay. So, Volred, Caleb, you step into the secret garden. This being your first time actually entering the secret garden, as it was only recently restored. As you kind of step in, just as the painting kind of shows, it is this heavily forested area. Kind of reminds you a bit of the Feywild that Yandere took you to, only instead of kind of twilight and reds and autumny colors, this looks more like a early spring type scenario. The center of this little glade has a lift, a circle of stones, dominated by an altar in the center. You can look out amongst the trees, and you see this kind of ephemeral, almost kind of glowing fog that kind of rolls through the place. And amongst many of the individual trees, you spot a number of fruit trees. Apples, peaches, pears, cherry trees, like all kinds of stuff. You even note large kind of berry bushes, and then kind of clusters of flowering plants that, Caleb, you would immediately identify as medicinal herbs. Off in the distance, in between some of the trees, you see what looks like a unicorn rush past in the distance. But despite you knowing that this is a demi-plane with like actual boundaries, it appears very much like an outdoor space.
It is amazing what you can do with magic.
I think your audio cut out.
I said it is amazing what you can do with magic if you have an imagination.
Okay, this is cool, but fuck this garden, okay? I need to talk to you.
Okay.
I told you about the dream I had back at Sweet Nut Manor. Right?
Yes.
I had another dream, and it felt like a vision. Okay? You've told me before about a feeling of being pulled, in a sense, of when you go into these vision-like states, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I've experienced this both times. I had a vision, and I believe the hunt has come to the mortal... The hunt has come to the mortal plane. From a high point of view, I started, and I saw the town of... Eric, would I actually remember what the town's name was?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Hitting this mute button is not very sensitive. That's up to you whether or not you think Volred would know. I deliberately didn't say in case you wanted to roll RP that you didn't know. But if you want to know, I will tell you.
Yeah, just go ahead.
It's Aukenfur.
I saw the town of Aukenfirth, and a strange storm of sorts appeared. At first I thought it was similar to what we experienced months prior when we first met, when we encountered that magic storm. It did seem very similar, but a cavalry came out of it. and the group of people seemed very Fae-esque, but mostly in particular there was one man, a headless man with a bow, tattoos all over his body, wearing pants and a loincloth. And though my attention span is sometimes short, that sounds very familiar to what Yandra referred to for the hunt.
Do you feel as though this vision was present or future?
Being that I'm not really used to this sort of thing, how can one tell?
Well, the city that we saw, was it very similar, or did it seem like a year or two has passed?
Well, it seems similar, but it was definitely a different time than we once were there.
Okay.
Everything seemed to be in bloom, much like the current state we're in of springtime. Because this is springtime, right, DM? Second seed is essentially spring.
You guys are in summer.
Summer, okay.
Yeah, so second seed is the second seed planting and harvest season of the year, which is summer.
Okay. So then, just to be clear, would I have assumed that this would be maybe not necessarily like current, but very similar to like other sorts of weather and trees and, you know...
Yeah, this definitely didn't seem to be like new spring. It seems it would have been maybe a similar time of year.
Okay. Caleb, I believe it was this time of the year, and when they showed through this portal of sorts, they began attacking the town.
Given the direness of this situation, I think I should reach out to other people to check. DM, would anybody did I make friends with anybody and not confer? I don't think I did I? I think it was pretty much in and out.
Well, you guys spent some time there. Other than Gamidi, you guys did kind of chat up the... because you guys stayed at an inn for a while. And then you guys spent some time talking to the cleric that had the temple to Valkyrn across the way. So there are some people that you can point out as remembering there. Not to mention the clerk at the Adventurers Guild there. Oh, there was also the Lyceum, and you guys met that wizard who wanted all the weird demon body parts.
Okay. Which I don't think we collected any of the body parts for that even yet.
I think you collected one
I think we looked at
piece
a
of
heart
body
up
parts.
or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Nobody that I think would remember me off the top of their head. So I'm going to message somebody else. I'm going to message my father. Real quick, Caleb here, obviously. Could you check on the city of Auchenfirth, please? I believe something just went down.
Well,
All right, son. It's good to hear from you. I'll take a look and see. I was thinking about having a look there anyway, as I did sense some kind of a disturbance. So, if you're asking, must be pretty serious.
Normally, those messages are sent through my head, but I wanted Ulrich to know what I was saying, so I said it out loud, and then I would repeat. I would tell Red, it seems as though my father sensed something there. Anyways, he was about to check on it. I think this may be current.
Okay.
So I will let you know as soon as he tells me.
Okay, let's keep this between you and me right now. I want verification before telling the others.
I understand.
Do you think they're after us? It seems like it.
Depends on the needs that you have to. Depends on what needs to be met to summon the harm. If they were able to figure out that we were there at that city at some point, it's very possible that they might be in other places that we have gone at different times.
Well, if this is verified, where's the safest place for us to be?
In all honesty, probably my father, but I don't want to drag him into this any more than I'm going to already. Here is an extremely defensible position. Always moving is a good option, but the problem is that we need to find out how they're tracking.
I said we shouldn't have stolen from the Pumpkin King. That sounded like a bad idea.
Yes, but given the context of information from the ocean that we were going to go into, I think stealing from the Pumpkin King was the better gamble. So we don't know.
Okay. I don't have anything else to say.
Then, until we get confirmation, I'm going to go speak to the residents of this lovely abode.
I have nothing else better to do, so I will join you.
Okay. So, as you kind of head farther in the secret garden, looking for members, individuals, you kind of look around. There are like little faint orbs of light that seem to kind of move throughout the place. Sometimes they meet up and kind of move in schools and then kind of break apart, fading in and out of existence like fireflies.
As you guys reach kind of the center of the standing stones, you guys hear a voice heading from a little bit past it. As you guys kind of head out that direction, and as you guys kind of look ahead, you see this kind of oak tree that's slightly larger than the others, and actually has a face kind of pushed in, carved from it, kind of like Game of Thrones style. Only this one appears to be of like a sleeping face, but kind of stepping out of the tree is a creature that you would recognize, Calum, as a dryad. A rather beautiful looking woman, scantily clad a little bit, with a dress kind of flowing leaves and flowers, and this kind of long chestnut brown hair, and eyes that kind of take on the color of sap, kind of glancing over. Well, you're not the ones that came and repaired my door.
No, but I am part of the new residents of the sanctum, and
I
I'm the
see.
one who requested to have the door fixed, since we are the ones who broke it. Not intentionally. Not completely intentionally.
It was a
Very
matter
well.
of life and death.
I'll choose to believe you. Not that it really matters, from what I can tell. Neither of you bear the mark of authority yet, so you are just residents.
That is actually something I am trying to work on. Before we go into that, while the door was closed, was everything okay here? Did anything go wrong? Or anything that we should know about?
Well, there was a bit of an issue that arose once we became separated from the largest sanctum. The waters that once flowed here stopped. Thankfully, I was able to keep the place more or less alive, so the damage was minimal. But I am nonetheless happy to have the waters restored.
Well, I'm sorry for that. Our actions... We did not want to cause damage to the sanctum. It was more the dragon that was inhabiting it. We didn't know if this was his sanctum or not. So we took no chances.
Well, I did not give him a mark of authority, but there are others who did, if only to avoid his ire.
I understand that. Is there anything that you would need or want? Something that I could do to help restore any type of damage that we have done?
The damage is more or less fine. But if you are asking for ways that you might earn authority, there are a couple. There are two main purposes for the Secret Garden. One is to maintain rare herbs and supplies necessary for the residents here. Another is to provide resources in the form of potion ingredients or other such for the residents here. Those are two purposes, and they are the reason I live and tend these gardens. So, if you can aid in that, it would be appreciative. One way is if you can find seeds or saplings of any new plants or herbs that you don't currently see growing in the garden, and provide them, then I will steward them. The added improvement of resources will be a boon and are appreciated. Alternatively, I can lend you some material here from the garden, and in return, I would like you to demonstrate your skill in the crafting of potions. Something interesting, something rare. If you're able to accomplish that, then you at least can demonstrate that you are worthy.
All right. Then I would like to try and do both. So, do you happen to have a list, or could you provide me a list of all the plants and herbs that you have here? Because memorizing all of this in such a short time would be very difficult.
I'm not really certain that I could do that. After all, I don't have paper or really the skill to write. And honestly, as a dryad, I simply know the flowers and herbs for what they are. I don't know the human names for them. I could perhaps give you some idea in Sylvan, but they'll need to be dictated.
I could definitely do that.
I suppose you could say that would be part of your tribe.
That is perfectly fine. I'm okay if we start this now.
Very well. If we're going to move forward, there is, however, one specific rule that you're going to need to abide by until you receive the Mark of Authority. And that is, you are not to take anything from the garden without my express permission. And certainly never more than the amount I give you permission to take. It's not so much that I don't trust you, it's just, obviously if you take too much, it hinders my ability to maintain the health of the plant, and it risks the garden's stability. Also, you shouldn't take things that are not yours, but at the very least will demonstrate you're someone who can be trusted.
Of course. I could abide by that.
Very well. Now that you have accepted that, it is also now your responsibility to share that rule with the other residents.
Most definitely. I will let them know.
Very well. Very well.
Fulred's just sitting here thinking, oh shit, should I have been listening?
Disassociated.
Just kind of looking away. Like, oh. However, if you do require something, you can always ask the servitors in the living quarters. They are capable of taking objects here, and they are well familiarized with the rules.
Okay.
So, if they are able to summon something for you, you can be assured it won't violate the rules.
Much appreciated.
Now, we'll go continue. And she kind of looks over to Volred. And I suppose you have some personal issues that you need to deal with. If the Wild Hunt truly is after you, then... well, you're in very much trouble.
This is her sanctum. She can hear everything.
Well, what advice do you have for that?
Well, it has been a number of centuries since I have been back in the Feywild. All I can tell you is, given what you said to your compatriots, the Wild Hunt that you're fighting is a darker variant. My warning would be, avoid them at all possible if you can. And don't assume that just because you kill one of them that they'll stay dead.
Same. Okay.
Oh,
I died
also,
once.
be aware that the members of the party have, they can speak in their death throes. What that means is their voices have a way of cleaving the soul from the body. So if you must fight them, I recommend you kill them quickly.
And
And
what happens?
absolutely, under no circumstances are they to learn your names. Once they know your names, it becomes nearly impossible to resist that power. They will take your life.
Okay, question about names. I am known by an alias. Would just them knowing my alias be enough? Or are you talking given birth name?
That is tricky. If enough people know you by the nickname, such that it is considered a legitimate name for you, then it itself can invoke power, as names invoke the power of the thing to which they belong. And if enough people have known that name and spoken that name such that that name has power, it can be used against you as if it was your given name.
I look over at Caleb and just say, like, you, me, need new names. ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh, she probably knows our names already.
I do.
Okay, Caleb, yeah, we need new names.
You don't have to worry about me. I don't have the power to cause you any harm with your name. Not yet, anyway.
I'm rather cautious. I don't know if you know this, but I've died once, and I don't want to die again.
Yes. I can tell that about you.
Can you smell
I can... in a way, it's not so much a smell as it is an energy. You have the scent of a perennial, that which dies back in the winter only to resurge again in the spring. It's
Thank
that
you.
kind of energy. And more than that, I do sense the energy of the Feywild upon you. I don't yet know whether or not that's a good or a bad thing.
Oh. How is that a bad thing?
Well, the thing about the Feywild is the fairy gates are two-way streets. When you walk through certain doors, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll close behind you.
So are you to say I'm part Fey now?
I cannot say that specifically. However, well, obviously you're Elven, so you are part Fey. But those who dwell within the Feywild for long periods of time do change. Perhaps this power may do something similar. I would say more in the line that if you are truly being hunted by a Fey, then even if your mind is elsewhere, if you are in the grips of a Fey sight, when you return to where you are, it is possible that they could follow you through that same doorway.
Thank
Well, it
you
seems
for
like-
the information.
But it seems like their visions might be beacons as well.
Well, Master Caleb, yes?
Yes.
I believe we have an herb here in the garden that goes by a similar name. Good for burns and the soothing of the skin.
I'm sorry, are you talking to me? I just disassociated.
Sorry, I was catching up on the text thread, and I had to stop because Well, yeah, it's always the memes, but I had to stop at that little dog spellcaster because I thought that was just the cutest thing in the world.
Isn't it? Right?
The little dog wizard. I was scrolling, and had to stop and be like, whoa, what was that? Oh, that's adorable.
Not everything has
scroll.
to be bad taste.
You're right.
The 1%.
Now you're gonna tell me that that's actually like a secret meme that like means something terribly inappropriate.
It means drug smuggling.
I mean, if you want me to, I could make up something real quick. I'm creative like that.
No, let's not derail
Mystery.
the adventure any more than it already has been.
Okay.
Yes. Kelmac wants to get railed by D.
The dark.
Gander, excuse me, we've already established that Gander
Is a power bottom. Yeah.
So this time you're the one who brought it up.
Yes, I know, and I'm regretting it. But he laid it up so
Did it right.
perfectly.
You're not wrong.
Don't
You're not wrong.
It's like the
Look,
referee
I have
dunking
such-
the ball. It's
don't-
very
don't come
distracting.
at-
I have
don't come
such
at Kelmac like
bad
that. You
sports
can come
skill.
at Gander like that. Don't come at Kelmac like that.
I'm just saying, my sports skill is so bad that when someone lines it up for me like that, and I can get a grand slam, I gotta take it. It's the only one I'm gonna get in my life.
You ain't slamming nothing.
Anyways,
That's Gander's job.
I'm gonna look back to Dryad. Thank you for your advice. We will definitely take that into consideration. And just so you know, while we are going through the herbs here, I might be contacted via message. If I am, just wait a moment. I'm going to be speaking to my father.
Not likely. This is a demi-plane, so your messages may not work.
May.
Okay. Wait, why did mine work?
5%.
Because I wasn't paying attention
Okay,
to where you
It's a-
were when you guessed smell.
it's a 10% chance that it doesn't work, right?
It's
It's like
5%.
30. I think
It's
5%.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
high.
man.
I talk to the dead.
Yeah.
not
So
me.
we're just gonna say you passed that time,
Okay,
or maybe sending magically works in the library for some reason.
that could be.
We weren't in the library, though.
Yeah, we were in this plane.
Oh, that's true.
Either way.
Well, congratulations, you miraculously passed.
Okay.
95% chance.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you rolled a nat 20. There's your 5%.
So I will take out some paper and I will write down all the herbs that I know, and then ask for properties and,
And
stuff.
it's
once I don't know.
a very large list. Like, as you guys are going, you have to stop for a moment and get out more ink, and you gotta like shake your hand because it's like, holy shit, there's a lot in here.
I
and
actually
what's
have a spell
more-
that does it for me. I don't have to write it.
Oh, that's right. But what's even more interesting is that there are a large number of herbs in here that you have never heard of, some of
Yeah.
which are not even native to this continent.
Although I will say, a resident hasn't been here in what, 500 years? Is-
I mean, if you ask though, like the Dryad will tell you, well, because I mean I didn't RP this part, but you know, as going through, you know, she can make a passive aggressive comment saying, oh well, you know, if the wild hunt does end up killing you, at least that nice elven gentleman will come back. He was a bit of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know, and she could have disclosed that she let him take some herbs that he was particularly interested in. He sweet talked her. He's charming. So
that doesn't surprise me.
Dragon.
so
But what I
you
was
get to sit like some of her little oakish cheeks kind of turned to rosewood a little bit.
yeah. But what I was more referring to is plants change over years, and given the fact that it's been 500 years since someone has actually been here, probably new herbs that she hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Outside of this area.
And well, there are dryads have the ability to grow plants and stuff. So everything here is thriving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So you start handling that. Let's see here. There's lots of other shit. Yandere, I mean, you've done lots of reading. Was there, you want to switch to a different topic, or do you have what you need?
I think I have what I need, and I'll probably just venture out from the library.
Okay. Kind of leaving the, library to kind of step out in a slightly more, dimly lit area. Let the eyes adjust a little bit. Volred kind of coming out of the garden portrait opposite of you. And then, sorry, Zal, what were you banging on again?
I was gonna go find everyone else.
Okay. Then yeah, probably about that time you're kind of coming through the throne room portrait. And you all just kind of bizarrely meet in a triangle, kind of Mexican standoff in the transept.
Hello. Hey guys, I split up all the stuff.
Oh, from the dragon sword, correct?
Yeah. Took a while.
Well, great. Is it assigned to us, or is there something that we should be looking for?
Well, I had them separated. There's a lot of junk, because there's art involved. So I have them separated into cubby areas. So we had to go to where it was. Where was it? I don't remember where it was stored. Was it just out in the common area?
It was stored in the storeroom in the living quarters.
In the storeroom in the living quarters.
Well, great. Once we've got everything squared away of who's getting what, then I would assume we'll probably just take our claim, correct?
Yeah.
Great. Did you enjoy the garden? It's Yandere looking over at Volred.
It was a garden. I've been in quite a few nice gardens before. It was impressive.
Is that why Caleb is still presently in the garden?
Did Caleb not come with me?
Nope, he's inside trying to get a catalog of all the herbs in the garden.
Oh. I guess I just wandered off as I do occasionally. He's still in there if you want to see the garden.
No, I think I'm good. But I probably will go sightsee for a little bit though.
Enjoy seeing the sights.
And Yandere will take off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back into the throne room if no one else is doing anything to eat more charcuterie and drink wine.
While on the throne. Kind of sit, Volred style. Yep,
What is Volred style?
Probably kind of lounged across the throne. Maybe. With some servitors kind of fanning him, eating grape charcuterie.
The feet are not on the floor, let me just tell you that.
Yeah, he's lounging across the throne. But yeah, so I mean, with a little bit of time, Yandere does some sightseeing. Kelmac probably awakes from whatever, corner he was sleeping in. Calum has got pages and pages and pages of herb notes, most of which he's going to have to study in more detail.
Have I heard? How long has it been since I messaged my phone?
We'll say it's probably been about an hour.
Okay, then I would go back. I'll probably go to the room where I'm able to speak to the past spirits that have been there.
The Timeless Chamber.
Timeless Chamber. And then as I'm going there, I'm going to message my father again.
Okay. So, as you message your father again, you're just asking for an update, or you got something specific you want to say?
I was just going to tell him I was in a Devi plane, so just in case the first one of his messages failed, I wanted to check in.
Okay. Okay. And then, yeah. So there's a kind of a long moment. There's kind of a long moment before your father kind of jumps into the conversation. Like, oh, yeah, sorry. A little distracted at the moment. Something's definitely happened in Aukenfirth. As far as I can tell, the town was attacked. The Lyceum's been informed, and it looks like they're sending some of the army there.
I'm going to send a message again. I have my suspicions that it is of the hunt. And I have a feeling that they might have their eyes towards my group. Do you have any advice to avoid them?
Your father kind of quickly jumps back in. After your group, or after you? If you feel you're in danger, you and your friends need to come here. Don't fight them by yourselves. Sounds like we may have something we need to talk about.
I'm going to send another message. There was something that needed to be done that involved the Pumpkin King. And while we were there, we saw the horn. And then we quickly got the hell out of there. Don't know if they're tracking specific.
I think it'd still be a good idea for you guys to come here if you think there's a chance that they're going to try and find you. They move in a large pack, and if they're searching for you, won't take them long. And also, you don't want the authorities learning something like that is after your group. Over.
I'm assuming I would know where Red would have gone.
I mean, there's only so many chambers.
Yeah, I'll go look
here.
for. I'll go look for Red.
Okay.
In
Oh,
what
he's in the
position
throne
do I
room.
find Red?
On the throne, kind of like laying sideways, very much arm over like the right side, one foot up kind of on the left, other arm behind the head. It looks very actually uncomfortable, but for a noble of his stature, it's, you know, just part of the gig.
Red.
Yes.
That's a good picture. Anyways, it turns out the entire city was attacked.
Fucking knew it. I knew it, okay? That first vision I had, same thing. I knew it. Oh, okay, what do we do? We gotta hide. Something.
First, we need to inform the others.
Okay.
And second, I spoke to my father a little bit. He said to come there.
Okay.
I
Your
know
father-
in his location, no, you won't be able. They will not be able to see us there. I do know that.
Great, so let's go.
But let's head to. Let's gather up the others first.
Yes. Okay.
And then I'll try and grab the others and lead them all into the wherever I find the last person, which I'm assuming is going to be in the library.
No, the last person you find would probably be Yandre, who is in the Astral Observatory.
Then I could. As soon as you go in there, it takes a snapshot, correct?
That's the Timeless Chamber.
Oh, yeah. Then
Yeah, the
yeah,
Astral Observatory is like the orrery.
yeah.
It's the place that is most closely connected to all the planes and helps facilitate travel and stuff like that. As well as a few other special abilities. if
That I
you
don't
ever
know yet.
unlock them.
Then I will head towards Yandre with Salam. Since he'll be the last.
What up?
I'd rather just say it once. Follow me,
Okay.
please.
I'm going.
Then when we get to the Astral Observatory, what's Yandre doing?
Just sightseeing at this point.
Chilling.
All right. now that we're all gathered here, Red has something he has to tell you. Something that he saw.
Little red bus.
Yes.
Why, thank you for the introduction, Caleb.
You're welcome.
I had another vision. Like I said back at Sweet Nut Manor, I had a startling nightmare of sorts when attempting sleep. And, well, we all know we talked about it, okay? I don't want to go over that again, but we need to leave, and here's why. I had a vision that the hunt came to the material plane. I saw the headless whatever his name is, and his crew, army. Well, I saw them attack the city of Oakenfirth. Concerned, I rushed to Calum and had Calum reach out to someone who could confirm or deny the vision. And it seems his father's confirmed that my vision was accurate. And the town was attacked, and the army is being disposed to the area.
Eric, how long has it been since I saw Volred and Caleb leave the library?
You would guess maybe an hour.
Well, hour and a half, because it took me an hour to do the actual.
Yeah, at an hour to an hour and a half.
It's time to do a nap.
So you saw the hunt come to Oakenfirth and attack them?
Yes.
And this was provoked by what again?
Sleep.
You said you saw someone leading the charge.
Yes.
What did he look like?
Well, the most notable thing was he had no head. He had a bunch of tattoos and had a loincloth across the bottom of his body. But he was wearing pants, so I don't understand the need for the loincloth. It wasn't very fashionable, and he...
Volred.
He had a bow.
And what was he doing?
Well, in the vision, he was staring directly at me, but that was aside from everyone shooting arrows and lighting the town on fire.
You had your vision here?
Yes.
When you thought to wait an hour and some change to tell the one person who knows about the hunt that you had a vision of the hunt.
Well, the last time I talked to you, you were highly skeptical, and I didn't want to arouse any false vision. It's not like we're on the best of terms right now.
And this made it better?
Well, maybe you should learn how to communicate better.
I give you the information that I have. You tend to go and skirt tail around it.
I give you
It's fine. We don't have time.
Oh, yeah, it seems like it.
Caleb,
Yes, Andre?
we need to stop by the manor before we go.
Or?
Well, Volred had his other vision at the manor, correct?
Yes,
And we have people who we care about at the manor, correct?
that's fair.
We should probably warn them.
Can't you warn them with brainwaves?
Yes, and I'm also going to warn Master Valerian. I'm actually going to have Master Valerian.
Can he?
Actually, wait. They don't know Master Valerian. That will seem very weird that a random mage coming by to warn them of doom and gloom. I should message them and message Valerian separately. So yes, I can send a message to them. I can tell them and have Master Valerian go get them. And he can protect them. If that's what you want.
It would be wise. And it is my fault for not realizing that every time Volred is attempting to sleep, he's reaching into the Fae. Looking back at Volred, I am going to implore you to stop trying to dream and stop trying to use these visions. Whether or not he is tracking us via the vision or he is tracking us via items, you using that Fae magic is going to put us in greater danger.
If you would have taken me serious the last time, you could have only told me it then.
Oh, Lloyd, take the apology.
Either way,
No.
let's continue this conversation at a later time.
There is no later time. We need to go.
I,
And he is a
you're-
liability right now.
I pull out
You're
my
moving.
sending stone, and I use the sending stone to Maldrasath. Like, hey, the Feywild hunt has attacked Oakenfirth, and they may be coming to the capital. You should keep an eye out.
There's kind of a brief moment, and then like Maldras's voice comes back.
Yes, we have been informed that something has attacked Oakenfirth. The Rune Knights are being deployed and the guild is on high alert.
Oh.
If you are open for jobs, I could get you a commission to head down there and investigate.
2 birds, 1 stone. I like this.
Before, like, when Izal gets that, Izal,
Hmm?
that individual has contracts with the government, and you just specifically said that they might be heading towards where we live.
Yeah.
It is very possible that something like that would lead them to believe that the hunt is after you.
Hmm.
We really don't want authorities thinking that.
Right, but giving them some type of warning that they might be attacking the capital will at least let them be on an alert so they don't get slaughtered when they do attack the capital.
I'm not saying what you did is wrong by any standards, just something to think about because, yeah. Anyways, I talked to my father. He's the one who actually looked into it, and he was the one who actually confirmed that there was an attack. He said we should head to where he's at because the hunt will not be able to find us there, or they won't be able to get there. Something else to think about.
So when we go to your father's place, though, like, what's the plan after that? Because
Ultimately, as long as they don't find us, they will continue carving a path that they
Yes.
find until they find, I would guess, here, and then just
Well, I will say here is under similar type of magics. But
we
My
have been
father's
to
place
2
is-
major cities since we've been back.
yes,
And they started with Oakenfirth, a city we haven't been. recently.
Yes.
While all of this is happening, Yandre's going to step around to the corner and he's going to essentially just, it looks like he's talking to himself, but he's going to step away.
And then after the conversation dies down, I'll get a message, Laura's sister, and essentially tell her that a wizard named Master Flareon is going to come and get them and take the entire family somewhere safe. Because something might be happening in the capital.
She seems suspicious, but the tone in your voice, she brooks no argument.
And then I'm going to message Master Flareon. And this I'm actually going to word out. It seems that something might be coming towards the capital at some point. Very soon. After us. Could you please grab our families? 2 more words left.
2 more.
I'm just going to say your place.
I don't know where Auchenfirth is on the map. According to where...
West of Irariel.
Right, but according to where it's at, in conjunction with the spirally vortex of doom of wild magic, is it closer to that compared to where we are?
Further. Or from where we are?
Yeah, is it closer to the spiral of death?
Auchenfirth is closer to the center of the spire than you guys are.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are farther away. Because you guys are up on the actual continent, whereas the rift stands kind of in the middle of the islands.
Yandre will turn back around and just go, Caleb, are we going straight to your father's from here?
Depending on the response I get from Master Flareon.
And where would it be dependent of?
If we go there and get the if Master Flareon can't get our families, then we will go get them and take them to my father's. So we'll go to Master Flareon's place and then we'll go to my father's. Is there somewhere else you need to go?
No, Master Flareon should be fine.
Master Flareon kind of goes, yes, I suppose I can. I am aware of some issues that have happened down in Auchenfirth. You haven't gotten yourself in some kind of trouble, have you? Yeah, either way, just let me know if you need something. I'll handle it.
So that's 5 level 3 spell slots. So
Wild hunt fighting today, guys.
No.
You're gonna fight Black Crom.
all right. That's
Why is he gotta be
Good.
black?
That's
then-
just what the Brits called them.
I'll play
Uh,
Blue.
so I'll look to Yandre. Master Flareon will take them to his place. I think we're good to go straight to my father's unless somebody else has any problems.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But why do you think he cares about my family? Shouldn't you be addressing me about this?
Well, we're all in the same room. So,
Oh, but you just said you looked over at Yandre.
well, he's the one who asked about the family. So I was responding to his request.
That's
yes.
true, but shouldn't I care more about this, Caleb?
Yes, you should.
I had the same idea too. I just allowed Yandere to get his voice heard.
Wow.
Thank you.
This is never mind. And then Yandere will turn back again and
Hey, can we drop off these stolen magic items that you got from the Feywild in one of these demi-planes? Because I really don't want to carry them around, just in case the bag's not enough. So no, then. Alright, I'll just...
We can, but a demi-plane is still considered a physical place.
Well, so's the inside of the bag. The bag's a demi-plane in itself, too, but I don't want to carry it with me if that's a potential target.
Then yes, we could drop it off at any of them.
Alright.
Which one do you drop it off at?
I was getting y'all's permission. I'm going to do it in the throne room.
Okay.
That's where I keep some other stuff at.
What?
Hmm?
What other stuff?
Oh, they went and stole a bunch of things from the Feywild, so I'm carrying it, and I don't feel like doing that in this next section. Just in case it's the target.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna go in the throne room and drop some of this stuff off.
Alright.
Okay. Minute or two after Izal departs, you guys are kind of chilled in the Astral Observatory. You guys, Caleb, you feel it first, and then surprisingly, Volred, you feel it, a weird kind of shift, a distortion in the area around the room. You can sense, Volred, it's kind of like a feeling as if a magical door is opening up. And then you guys all kind of watch as the area where the teleportation circle is normally suddenly flares up with light. It goes... And instead of a person, you see a long object that's kind of wrapped in cloth.
and
Caleb, you do that?
that appears to be the favor I called in.
What?
Yandere will go and walk over to the teleportation circle, or where it was, and pick up the item.
You gave
Okay.
someone our address?
Someone who already knew our address.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
telling party secrets.
Yep, I'm actually getting ready to inform you now. And Yandere unwraps
The same.
Yandere unwraps the tabard, and it's a sword, a long sword.
Yeah. You see vaguely elven in style for those of you guys in the room. It seems to have this kind of silver guard in the shape of like a crescent moon. And then it's got a wire-wrapped handle and like a black piece of stone for the pommel that kind of looks nebulous, and the stuff inside starts to shift a little bit. The scabbard is kind of this beautiful, almost kind of black ebony wood with silver accents. Very well made.
Nah, I got old sword.
Oh, then. What is that?
Star Killer.
Oh,
Hmm.
I got it.
What?
The sword. The sword that we were
Pop-up
potentially
sword?
going to trade for a wish stone. But given that we don't have time, I asked him to send it here.
Oh, it's Godwin! Oh. I gotta put names down. Wait, We were supposed to, like, divvy up stuff so we all got stuff from it.
Correct.
So what are we going to do with the sword?
I'm going to use it.
On.
How do we use that thing?
Well, I was hoping that we would have more time to figure it out, but we don't know how to lay low for a good period of time. So
Or communicate either.
correct.
Thank you for telling us something that could have been avoided.
You're welcome.
I accept that.
They see that we, you know what? We're going to cut the childish shit here, because obviously me having to have these conversations in the high-pitched tone and acting like I'm incredibly stupid is not working with this group anymore. So if you want information, we're going to have to play it real low-key and real quick. Now, before you jump in, because you have a tendency to do so, Mr. High and Mighty, let me tell you that my intention now is to fix this. And the only way that I can do that is by going back to the Feywild. And I need something that I can use to resolve these issues. Do you have questions regarding that?
Yes.
Let's go.
Tell us more. More would be better. As much as you can given the time.
Given the time, the hunt is here, which means they're searching in the prime, which means we are virtually not very protected at all here. But that means it's also a valuable asset that's no longer located in the Feywild. So, if the Dark Hunt is here, and we're not worried about it being there, this is a better time for me to attack and get what I came to get. And that is the head of Ceranos. Right now, the person that you saw in your vision, the head of the hunt, who is headless, is the person who was in charge of the Autumn Court and was usurped by the Pumpkin King. I intend to give him his power back, and the way that I can do that is by getting him back his head. That is currently listed in Queen Mab's court, which is the Court of the Winter. And we talked about that briefly. I don't have a lot of information about it, but I know that she is partnered with the Pumpkin King, and now she holds the head captive.
I mean this genuinely. Thank you for giving us this information.
So, may I interject?
Should
Or include, since we're at the what may seem to end. What is the sword is used to fend off the Zoronos's decapitated body?
What do you mean?
I think I lost track a little there. Ceranos' head was removed from his body. The body is now being used to lead the hunt. Correct?
Correct. The body
Queen
has
Mab
always
is-
been the lead of the hunt.
Okay, so Ceranos has always been the leader of the hunt. Ceranos was the leader before the Pumpkin King, and when the Pumpkin King usurped Ceranos, he decapitated him, gave the head to Queen Mab, who is now in possession of it.
Correct.
And the sword is just a form of protection as a powerful weapon.
Sword is a powerful artifact, and given some of my research, I understand that it is particularly strong against certain Fey creatures. Outside of that, I don't know.
Okay. But let's get out of here, because you talking that the hunt is on us makes me realize that they probably use interplanar travel to supersede time and distance. So they could be here in a minute.
Izal did make a good point earlier whenever she mentioned that they attacked a city in which we hadn't been to in a long time. We don't have a lot of time, but I don't think that they know exactly where we are. Given, I'm not sure how long ago this vision that Mored had was. How long ago were you asleep?
Well, at this point, I would say 2 hours.
So yes, we should probably leave.
Okay. Are we just looking to Caleb? Are we just teleporting circle there, or?
Yes, I'm ready now that we have everything scheduled.
Yeah.
So I'll
He's
start
all-
doing
You guys are teleporting where?
my father's.
Okay.
Easel, you have dropped off all possible items taken that could have a magical signature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the
Cool.
super cursed one I got. No.
We get to Caleb's dad's place. It's like, oh man, it was in the bottom of the bag. Super cursed looking object. Just
I just lay on the ground and proceed to start sleeping.
Damn you!
No.
This thing's
Yeah.
beeping. What should I do with it?
That is the quickest way to step out your party.
Just
Yeah.
kill him.
Okay, so Caleb, you cast the regular rune as the ritual. Then once everyone's ready, you pass in the special sigil for your dad's place. Floom. And you guys all pass along to the Valley of the Fates. And we're going to go ahead and take a break. So I will see you guys in about 15 minutes, and then we'll see how badly this goes.
What's the worst that could absolutely bad things happen? Intermission.
I mean, there is technically a. Well, no, let's not go that far.
Intermission.
Jiminy
You know how you
Don't
turn
put
me
down.
on.
I was about to say, why are you?
Oh, hey, I mean, the beer does something for some people.
We're definitely
But-
back live, just to let you know.
Oh, are we talking about beards?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
turning Kelmac on with beards and stuff.
No,
Yep.
no.
Totally what happened.
Oh,
I hate mine because like this side, the hair doesn't grow down; it grows like out. And it bothers
Brush?
me. I brush
Yeah,
it.
Steam.
I
you
use
boil your beard.
Boil your face.
I use a after shower ointment.
Beard balm or whatever.
Yeah.
get you one of those little combs that heats it up.
Oh, steamer.
My boss has one of those. He's so proud of it.
I have one.
Yeah. Anyway, something else we can be proud of.
Eric's just mad.
Why are you interrupting the most important conversation of the night, Eric?
Beard hygiene. Very high topic.
Anyway,
I told a
So-
coworker to start using, cleaning products for his beard. And
She didn't take it
it's just
very
a
well.
rat.
with a flash of light, you guys are thrown through the astral sea and then back into the prime material in a familiar room. This being, I believe, the second time you guys have teleported via teleportation circle into what looks like the bottom floor of a tower. Kind of rather large tapestries lining the edge, all faded, and a single exit point that leads out deeper in to the palace that lies here in the Valley of the Fates.
Is this the place I don't remember?
Yes.
Great.
You actually have your memories, don't you? Because
No.
you got Greater Restored.
I don't think so. I don't think it's ever been done on me.
I don't.
Didn't
I
it
think
get
this all
stated?
forgot again.
I always
Yeah.
forget. I have not remembered a single memory wiping situation.
I could have sworn, didn't Greater Restoration fix all of them, or did it only fix it for the Feywild?
I don't think I've ever been greater restored.
I know we did the
Or-
pool
or-
soak, but last I remember leaving here,
Eh,
it was
whatever.
stated that I just completely forgot what this place was.
Yeah. So yeah, Izal knows nothing about this.
Yeah.
Or Kelmac.
It's an old place. Doesn't look quite as nice as your house. Or the sanctum.
I thought we were going to your dad's, Caleb.
We are.
This place is
We
a
did.
dump.
Well, here it is. Let's go.
You're in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains the draft.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll lead her out.
Okay.
And-
As you guys depart the Tower of Summoning and head into the main atrium of the palace, you guys see part of the banquet hall that has been set up with some food. Brian Starsong, your father's retainer, kind of lifelong apprentice, is in the process of setting up some food. And then kind of when he looks over and sees you guys present, he kind of quickly makes his way over there and bows. Master Caleb, friends, the master told me you would be coming.
Caleb,
Oh,
is this
well,
your
you're good.
dad?
No, it's too
No.
young to be your dad.
This is a friend of his. He's always around.
They were
Officially,
roommates.
I am Master Eckard's
They were
apprentice.
roommates.
okay.
Do you know where he is at the moment? Is he at the stone?
Yes, he was looking into some issues. He told me you had contacted him earlier, and he's been quite perturbed since then.
Then I think we should go see him and see what we can figure out. And I will lead them up to the stone where he's at.
Okay. and he's in the process. It looks like he's got different kind of papers and such, kind of scribbling a little bit. Um, his kind of large, like heavily faded light blue robes that are now like almost a gray color. The top of them's been kind of pulled back, and he kind of sits, bare chested, Indian style, just kind of sitting there surrounded by different kinds of crystals and such, kind of hanging from this makeshift, almost kind of like tent that's been semi-permanently erected on top of this large kind of stone disc that's got carvings in it. As you guys kind of make your way through, kind of glances back. Ah, you're here. Well, looks like your trip was safe, at least.
Yes. What have you found out so far?
Well, as far as I can tell, this the Wild Hunt has only managed to touch Aukenfirth at this point, which I suppose is good. Looks like the damage was kept relatively to a minimum. They just kind of stormed the town and seemed to almost leave as quickly as they arrived. There were a few casualties, but minimal. Mostly it's just the surprise of it all. I mean, the Wild Hunt comes to the Prime Materia relatively often, but it's been quite a number of decades since they've actually attacked a settlement.
Where did they go in the city?
It looks like they just went up the main boulevard, spread out, and it seems as though they were perhaps looking for something. And when it became apparent that it was not there, they simply departed.
Yeah.
So they are looking for just us and not really doing any collateral damage heavily.
Any spirits or souls lost is collateral damage, and it's a heavy price.
Yes. But they could just come in and raise a town, hoping that we're there, but...
Or it could be the Pumpkin King just giving us a warning.
Could be.
In case, we need to figure out next steps of either effectively stopping the tracking, however it may be via visions or artifacts or some other means that they're using, or figure out a way to get the hunt called off or end it.
Do we know who exactly they're chasing after?
They don't really have a guarantee. But
Is there a test we can do to figure it out? Like,
I would prefer we don't attract more attention.
I will say, me and Yandre were inside the facility. So if there was something that they picked up from that, it would be either me and Yandre. And then there's the possibility of visions being a beacon. So that leaves 3 people. Me, Yandre, and Red. We are not sure as to which would actually be the target, but those are 3 very valid targets. Calmech and Exal, I don't even think they would have a vision of you, or any hint of you being in the burden. Or not.
Also, if they are able to track the star, then Godwin would be the next target as well.
That is very fair. Although he did say he does have ways of hiding. But
It by where they attacked and the immediate search and leaving, that would lead me to believe like they don't have much of a clue. Maybe it's a way of forcing us out of wherever we might have been hiding. Like make our move first. That way we draw attention to ourselves.
That's possible. Or they could be having the people on this plane do the work for them. As you said before, it's not very common that they come in and attack. So if they know that they're looking for someone, they could be using this as an opportunity for the people of the Prime to help search them out. Which means
people do stupid things. So, yeah.
well, I told you what my next steps are. I intend, at the moment that they find a way back here and they keep looking, I'm going back to the Feywild.
At this point, Eckert kind of speaks up a little bit. And you think you're going to be powerful enough to head back there? No offense, but you're fighting an archfey.
My intention isn't to directly fight the Archfey, but bring another Archfey back into the battle at least.
Well, I can't pretend to know what exactly it is you and your friends' plans are, but I'll help you best I can.
You actually can help me with something. Yandere will pull Starkiller out and set it in front of him, and just says, "This is an incredibly powerful relic, but we have very little knowledge of it. And even in the books that we do have, it doesn't really speak too much more of its actual capabilities versus just the legend behind it. Is there anything you can do to kind of guide us in the right direction when using this?"
He takes a look at it. Well, let's see what it is. We can figure it out. I think I know what it is, though. And you see him kind of get up and start pulling out some material components and start kind of in the middle of this little stone dais, prepping a series of spells. You see he kind of pokes some prods at it for a little while. He goes, "Yeah, this is a blade called Star Killer.
It's got a tag right here.
It
was labeled. It's a sticker with a price tag that says infinite.
I suppose you could say it's a sword with a infamous history for those in the know. All, from what we can tell at least, it was forged during the age of myth and arcana, towards the end by a half-elf individual, a hero of sorts who was cast out of Alarion due to his half-human heritage and made to wander the wilderness. The half-elf grew to become rather impressive champion soldier in his own right, and well, his hatred towards his fellow elves that drove him out, well, drove him to fight against the Elven Empire. Naturally, the hero was eventually defeated, as Valerion was still very powerful during that day. But nonetheless, his discontent for the Star Elves is kind of lingered in the blade a bit. Now, the blade is infamous because it was crafted back during a time when items of magic were especially powerful, and so the sword has drank in an awful lot of power, both from the world itself and from the blood of powerful elven mages who have been slain by it. The most important thing is the sword's power, as far as I can tell at this point, is mostly dormant. But it's not really a moon blade itself, but it's a type of variant in that case to where the actual abilities of the sword can change a little bit depending on its wielder. There are a few things that are definitely known, just kind of built in, so to speak, for the weapon itself that you'll be able to use. But there are other powers that'll be able to be unlocked depending on how you use it. In the sort of basic state that it's in at the present moment, pull up the item quick. It's got a few unique things. It's a magically edged blade, of course, and he kind of goes to pull it out, and it's kind of like this beautiful leaf blade where it kind of tapers just in the middle a little bit before widening back out. So in that way, it has a pretty keen edge, but more so, it has a certain hatred for those who are Fae or possess a Fae ancestry, and will perform a little bit of extra damage to those sorts of individuals. Furthermore, the one who wields it while drawn casts a bit of a, I suppose you can say it's an aura of light in a way. Also, it has the ability in its current stage to summon some smaller meteors for use in combat. And of course, as it gets, well, assuming you're capable of awakening the blade, it will gain more power beyond that. That's just what it's capable of at the moment.
So Yandere will, I guess, well, he took the sword out of the sheath. He's going to pick the sword back up and just looks back to the group. I called in a favor with Godwin to use this in the immediate future. I know that we intended on using this as collateral for other things or loot, and I intend to follow through with that deal. But this looked to be the best way for me to resolve the issue that I'm dealing with currently. After which, what we do with the sword is completely up to you.
Can you use it? I want to see you. I want to see you hit something.
I would think if the blade itself is aligned for use against Star Elves, I mean, we can see
I want to.
how it works.
Well, he said it's a type of moon blade. Those are elvish things anyway. Like Yandere or Volra are the only two who are going to be able to use it. I want to see him hit something.
If you give me some time, I'm sure I could tap into some of the abilities he just mentioned. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yandere will grab the scabbard and begin heading out to a place where he can at least focus, because knowing this group, he's not going to be able to focus around them very long. Oh, but before
Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
staring,
He's all just walking
staring from a
there.
distance.
It's it. But before doing that, Yandere will actually go up and approach us all. I was able to have a couple of conversations with Aaron. And
Aranthier?
yes, Aranthier.
I think Aaron sounds weird.
Hey, it was a short name that he goes by. It's fine. It gives him some form of identity, you know. And with me using this, I think Aranthier would probably be better in your hands.
It's technically it is a smaller weapon, so it doesn't quite go with what I normally do, but I'll take it.
Just
I'll take him. I don't know.
them.
Oh,
It's a lot of them. The hive mind kind of. Also, it's forged of shadow steel. It's the material from the Shadowfell. Essentially, the way a lot of them got trapped in there is by being killed by the material of the blade, and then kind of being summoned back into it. So the more killing you do with it, the more crowded it'll probably become. Just we were working on a way of freeing some of them from the blade, but I'm not sure exactly how to do it yet.
Oh, okay.
And Yandere will hand over Aranthier.
Okay. And then Izal, she kind of take hold of Aranthier, kind of in your head telepathically. Aranthier goes, "Hey, buddy."
Hey,
So-
Aranthier.
It seems I'm being passed around like a hot potato, huh?
Hey, man. It's not. You're the one who chose to be like the lead voice. You could pick who wants to be in charge yourself.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hopefully you'll use me more than the other guy did.
Who, Yandere?
Yeah. You know, I was under the impression that Yandere was a, fighty, melee guy, but I gotta be honest, most of the time I was with him, he was reading just like the mage dude I told you that I didn't want to, help, so I feel like I got gypped.
Out of character.
It was like 2 hours.
He didn't meet Salazar. He didn't meet Sal at all.
To be fair, it was like 2
You
hours.
tuned to him and you didn't immediately kill some people. How dare you?
How very dare me.
I like to read sometimes too, but I'm not. I don't have any reason to go doing some research. But I'm not going to go murder a bunch of people for no reason.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't want you to do that either. I'm just saying that, I'm just saying I got some trust issues right now. And, I'm just saying we're going to have to get to know each other for a little bit.
Okay.
Talk shit, don't get no hits.
I can be kind of reckless sometimes.
I mean, that's fine. I can take it. It's just, just out of curiosity, like, how often do you get, like, new weapons?
Well,
I'm just saying, you're not the kind of gal that just kind of, like, trades them in for new hotnesses, right?
well, I have this one, which was from my grandfather, and I've kind of had it for the last really long time. And then this one I got from a dragon horde. I mean, that's just cool. Then I got this one's a magical lightning javelin. I use many tools.
I guess that works out.
A Jane of all weapons.
This is awkward now.
Yeah.
Alright. I want to
Well,
see
nice.
Andre cut something with like.
So Yander's gonna spend the next hour attuning.
Is this place like? I forget. Is this like? It's not a house, right? It's like an old temple.
It feels that way. It's kind of like it's a palace / temple. It's got grounds. You could think of it like in your case, it almost kind of looks like or perhaps like it was once a college campus. Is probably that's the kind of vibe you would get. It was very clear that a lot of people spent time here. And everything's got kind of this municipal, like kind of communal living space vibe to everything.
I guess while we're doing just sitting around stuff while attuning and whatnot, I want to go swim in the spring.
I think it's gonna be real
Okay.
funny when we leave this place and I forget that I am attuned to this sword.
And then all of a sudden there's a voice like, "Oh, fuck, it's like, really? We just had this conversation and you're already forgetting about me?
Hey, we've been in.
It's like,
we've been
this
in
sucks.
4 fights.
This sucks.
Um,
You guys are the worst.
That's hilarious. If they are going to the spring, I'm actually going to stay with my father, and I'm going to try and see if I can see the damage that was caused to the city through one of his spells.
So let's see. That's okay. And so you're gonna go there, spend some time with your dad. He's not really able to kind of share any of the images and stuff with you.
We do have the spell to share memories.
Well, that's true. With like some encoding of thoughts and such.
Yeah.
So like you can get a little bit of it. It appears, minor. It looks like most of the damage is because they like came right into the city, and killed a fair number of people. Like a couple dozen, but most of the people who died were like people who got trampled by the horses or tried to fight off the hunt and were unsuccessful.
Didn't you say there were a few fatalities? That sounds like...
Yeah, it sounded
just a
like
little-
maybe like it was just a couple gate guards that tried to stop them, and they just fucking like.
Well, I mean, yeah, fatalities, and then there were numerous who were injured.
Okay.
Because
Then, yeah.
technically, casualties includes anyone that was injured and or killed.
Yeah, mainly I want to see if they went
Yeah,
anywhere
it
that we
does
stayed.
actually. Like where you stayed.
Yeah, I want to see if they went to the area that I stayed. I want to see if they are trying to pick up our scent. So
Yeah, you don't get that vibe.
so it was purely just a raid.
Yeah, looks like a raid, or perhaps any like actual energy that you guys might have left there, as either so faint is either non-existent or so faint that they didn't pick it up, or maybe they picked it up immediately and then realized, oh, you're not here, and then went off to the next place.
Okay.
Who knows?
Then then that's just what we're gonna do is spend time with my father while they go and do other stuff.
Yeah, your father is going to, like, as you're kind of getting into it, he's you notice, like, as you go, like, his questions become a little long, just slowly, they become monosyllabic. And then, like, after a little bit of uncomfortable silence, he goes, well, Calum,
Yes.
Are you doing anything too dangerous? I mean, I know you had some changes in your power situation some time back, and I was just kind of curious how that has developed.
In regards to any rituals, I haven't really had any more issues since the last time I spoke to you. It seems like something is going on with my abilities that has drawn the ire of the divine. Where, hell, I was able to go DM, remind me the name of the god that has that big library. I'm trying to remember the name.
Athoria, the god of magic.
Hell, I was able to go and visit Edrin face to face. And
You actually stepped into the Endless Archive?
yes, and I was able to read stories of people's past.
How many gods exactly have you met?
It's
That's
like
a loaded question.
6.
That is a tricky question.
You know,
Avatars are gone.
son, normally the answer is none. Or if it's not none, it might be one. But if you're having trouble counting them,
Are you refer? Do you count avatars in that as well, or just gods?
well,
It's at
I
least 5.
suppose we should count avatars.
They,
At
If a
least
deity has
one.
seen fit to send an avatar, then
6 or 7.
you do realize there's only like 30 or so gods in the pantheon, right?
Yes.
Do we count
Like I
that
said.
deer?
Ooh, that's a good point because that was an avatar. Anyways,
At least 7.
so like I said, somebody sees fit. Bless me in the eyes of the divine, where they accept communication. Or, when I do break into the realm of the Endless Archive, not kill me outright. Because he very much could have. And since then, I haven't tried to. Because that was very surprising. That's for sure. But in doing some research on my own, it has been pointed out that I should speak to you to find out more about why I'm this.
Who would have told you that?
Morgan.
Okay.
Your ex-wife.
Maybe.
That would be weird.
Quit hitting on
You
your
see,
stepmom.
You see Eckhart kind of sit there for a moment, pensive. Have you had a lot of conversations with Morgan?
Yes. It turns out, anytime I did the ritual of ascertainment, the individual that we speak to in her ritual has always been more victim. There's never been a step in. So I've actually been speaking to her for years without even realizing it was really her.
With that, he kind of goes over to like a little shelf that he's got there. Lifts up a couple pages and pulls out like a small, ornately carved jewelry box, banded in silver. Kind of goes and opens it up a little bit and pulls out what looks kind of like a brooch, or maybe like a piece of a necklace, like a piece of amulet. Kind of brings it back to you and then goes to hand it off. You know the place on the north side of the valley? The one I rarely ever go to and tell you you're not allowed to go anywhere near?
Yes.
I think it's about time you went and had a look in there, son.
Elmac wandered off and wandered there. Actually,
Damn it!
hey guys,
He's dead! Oh, poor Kelmac! This is why you told me never to come in here, Dad!
Spike pig trap.
More specifically, if you go to the far back chamber, because you'll go through and enter an entry hall. At the end of the entry hall is a large oculus room. In the center there's an altar. Upon that altar is a book. I recommend you give that a read. Though, I certainly recommend don't let the book leave that temple.
Okay, so once I go there, that's where I go and read the book?
Yes.
Okay.
So don't
I
let
think
it
you'll
leave.
find some information in there that's useful.
Well, you know, Caleb can always be trusted to not take books.
But I am going to warn you, son. I've tried very hard to raise you with purpose and compassion. And I always imagined someday that you'd figure out just how unique you really are. And the only thing I would tell you at this point is it is part of the reason how I came to know you and sent for you even before you came to live here. And my warning is that the knowledge that lies within that book, you cannot unlearn what is in that book. And so if you choose to read it, it will change your life. Maybe not for the better. But it will also make it practically impossible for you to sidestep what's going on. That part of you that's unique, that little seed, you can put it in a little box and shove it away on a shelf just like I did with that amulet. But you're reaching a point here, son, where you're going to have to make a choice. And to either let that part of you go, or see how far it can take you. But it's going to complicate your lives in more ways than one. So I would highly recommend you really think about it. And it would be best if you return that amulet to me before you leave the valley.
Significance is the amulet. Is it to allow me in?
It is. It belonged to the owner of that vault.
Think on.
I've given my warning, son, and I can't really say anything to you beyond that until you make a choice.
Yeah.
But this next part's up to you. But whatever you choose, I'll support you.
Thank you.
All right, Yandre.
Let me walk off.
Yep. You spend some time getting used to the blade. Much easier than with a Ranthier, as Starkiller doesn't seem to really try to hide or obfuscate any of its presence. You do sense like a little bit of resistance at first. Just trying to come up with an analogy that you guys can't turn into some kind of a sexual thing, and I don't think it's possible. But
Improbable.
He has to work the sheath.
Oh, both
It's
hands.
shaft.
it requires some dexterity.
Ooh.
Oh, it does. It does require dexterity.
But after a little bit of time, as you near towards the end of that hour and get a good understanding, you can begin to feel power flowing from the blade towards you as the attunement process kind of takes hold. But just before it begins to actually meld with your magical essence, a voice creeps into your head. What is this? You're the one who woke me up. An elf. Why is it always elves? Still, you're not one of them. That's at least going for you. So, my master's charge does not forbid me from making a covenant with you. Who are you?
My name is Jandre.
Yandre. That's a bizarre name for an elf. But you are not of this world.
I am not. I'm an Eldra.
Eladrin of the Feywild. Curious. Well, then you are very different. Different can be good, it can be bad, but what I care to know is why have you sought my power? Surely you know what I'm capable of.
I do. And that is exactly why I sought out your power. See, I have a particular disdain for a particular Fae. And I believe that we can work together to resolve that issue.
Oh, I see. You wish to borrow my hatred, then?
Fuel your hatred with some of my own.
I see. I suppose I could help you. What is it you wish to give me in return?
What you desire. Death of the Fae. A particularly powerful fae at that.
Mm, a powerful thing. How powerful?
One that has currently usurped the position of the Autumn Court.
Ah, Nash Fang. Well, that would certainly go a long way to waking me up. I suppose I can lend you some power in that respect. Very well. I will give you some time. You seem quite motivated. Are you the pacifist sort who refuses to allow any collateral damage? Or are you comfortable with getting your hands dirty?
I don't mind getting my hands dirty from time to time. The only people I truly care about are the ones that are with me currently, and 2 others that are currently in the Feywild.
Let's see. They're not elves of the Kel-Kalawel, are they not?
They are not.
Well, then it seems so long as they are upstanding and pure of heart, then there's no need to purge them. You see, I have a disdain for the high elves of Alerion because they are haughty and feel a certain superiority against others. Those are the elves I hate the most.
I find that interesting. You may like where we're going to venture. Well, we together will venture very soon.
Yes. This could be quite interesting indeed. Very well. Our pact is made. Work hard, and I may yet be able to lend you more power.
Understood.
Good. The bargain is struck.
And then you feel the magic latch. And you watch as the dark blade of Starkiller suddenly start to glisten, as if a tear in the prime material has suddenly occurred on the blade. And you look down into what is pitch black with nebulas and stars, slowly pulsing and shifting, as if the blade itself is not of this world.
Interesting. Yandere will then get up and turn to see where everybody else is.
I imagine at this point he's also like a little ways away on the other side of the lake, just kind of staring at you or something, maybe.
Are you okay?
Great. Why you ask?
Don't know, you just kind of zoned out for a while.
Well, yes, it takes some time to attune to the blade.
You looked angry.
I am.
At, like, the sword?
No, at the situation. The need for the sword.
Oh,
The target that we have on our heads right now.
gotcha.
Well, you said you wanted to see the blade, and you wanted to see me hit something, correct?
Yes.
So Yandere will hold up the blade to show the change in its appearance, kind of waving it around just a little bit to get a full glimpse at it. And from there, he will attempt to use... Sorry, I have the blade on the thing now. Melf's minute meteors.
Okay. So you cast Melt's Minute Meteors, 3rd level. You just kind of raise the blade, and you see like
I think it's like 6 little orbs of fire kind of start to appear in the blade and then shoot out of the sword and then start to circle Yandere.
That's neat.
Yeah, it is. Caleb, before I start.
I don't think Caleb's here.
Oh yeah.
Caleb's gone.
Who's in here that like lives here, or is it this general area?
Us.
I mean, you that lives here. I mean, you're not that far away from like where Caleb and then were. So Eckert is still there. The apprentice Brian is inside the place, and Calmac's doing whatever Calmac's doing.
So if Eckert's still there, I'd just be like, is there any place that I can demonstrate this ability?
Eckert just kind of looks up at the sword. Well, the lake's right in front of you, but I guess if you took down some bushes or trees, that wouldn't be the end of the world.
Ooh, I got an idea. Hit me with it.
This will be my first time using it.
Good grief is all.
What?
Are you?
Want me to hit you with the blade?
Would you do the fiery circle thingy?
Fair. Okay. And then
Go stand away from everyone. All right.
so it should just be a dex save because I'll fire 2 of them at you. It's a dex save. It's a dex save.
Yeah, this is like one of those dummies in MMOs, except instead of letters, it just goes. Oh.
Ah.
That's okay. It's a dex 14, not super grandiose. But I will shoot 2 of the meteors at you.
Okay, well, I dodged most of the damage of the first one. Is it 2 saves?
Yeah, it's for each meteor.
Ooh, that'd be fun. And I dodged the second one, but I still take some of it. Like, oh shit! Those are
You take
fast.
half. You take half regardless.
Those are fast.
So that first one, half of the first one. Do you roll twice?
Mm.
You have a dex save on here twice.
I have advantage.
Oh, okay, okay. And then,
Ooh.
so 6 and 4. Right? Or 6
Be
and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Okay. 9 points.
Ah. Just putting some of the fire out. That's neat. And I still see there's still more of those things circling around. It's like,
It's 4 more.
ooh, that's real cool.
And then it emits a glow as it's out. So, like, that's also part of that. I'm trying to think. Let's see what else is happening. When I was attuning to it, I was informed that there are possibly some more abilities to it. We'll just have to find a way to unlock them.
Neat.
And then Yandere will fire the other 4 off into like the grass or the bushes nearby and not at Izal. Just kind of extinguishing the rest of that ability.
Calmac's just in the pool.
I was gonna say just shoot him in the lake.
Blow up the lake.
It's not gonna blow up the lake.
It's fine.
It's
He's
messy.
good. But yes, it's going to take some work, but it'll do well.
I'm gonna take a dip in the pool again because my leg kind of got burned. So I'm just gonna cool my wounds in the hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Yandere is going to resheath the sword, and then I guess he doesn't really remember much more outside of like the pool because he's only been here once specifically. So he's gonna follow everybody else, I guess.
Okie dokie. So, you guys kind of going to meet Volred up at the Blessed Waters. Volred, you start to get a bizarre sensation as you approach the waters. And as you kind of climb into the lake, as the water touches your skin, it kind of gives you like a vague static electricity type feeling at first that takes a little bit for you to get used to. And your ability to sense portals and hidden doors kind of kicks in, and you can actually sense that like up on the rock, like near the top of the waterfall, you can sense a portal. And you can sense that it is a portal to the Fey realm of Autumn.
I think I should get out of the water.
But the water feels really good, though.
It's like taking a bath at home.
I'm gonna get out of the water.
Under the water.
And then attempt to find the group and tell them that I got into some Fey water.
You'd meet us on our way
you
up
get
there.
about halfway back to the palace when you see the rest of your group heading towards you in the forest.
Hey, Volred.
You have a good bath?
So I got in the water, and I noticed that the rocks, the little waterfall, seem to be like a portal. You know, I can see those now. I'm pretty sure that's coming from the Fey Court of Autumn. So, like, is it bad that I got in the water?
Hmm.
I'm not sure, Yandere. I will default to you.
I would recommend not being in the water.
That's why I got out. Expeditiously.
I don't know exactly what the connection is here. There's a place in the Feywild, specifically in the Court of Autumn, that's very similar to this pond or pool, but if you still have connections to the Feywild and you're starting to get any particular feelings of connection, I would probably stay away.
I didn't. This is me telling you connection thing. So
Does that mean that that's a potential way of getting back to the Feywild? If it's a ley line or a small portal?
If it's a door, there is potential. It was weird. When I came here the last time, I did feel some level of connection, but I really don't understand this particular pool. I don't know if we want to try and test it out. I would prefer not to, especially being that the Autumn Court is not where I'm intending on going.
So we should look for the Winter Court.
For Queen Mab.
Correct.
If we could, so if we could find an area that might be connected to the Winter Court, that would be an easier place of controlling where we would transport there.
Correct.
Okay, so we just gotta poke around until we find a ley line to the winter. No, that's stupid.
We don't want to draw attention to Caleb's father's home.
Do you think they're related by blood or like adoption?
I believe Caleb has mentioned that
this man has adopted him and was teaching him magics and assumed the role of his father. Were you not listening to him?
I wasn't here for that convert. Was that? What?
You forgot. That's.
I'm pretty sure I've asked that every time I've come here.
What have we forgot?
Oh.
We've gone through this conversation a couple of times, but because you don't remember, Calum is adopted. His father, Eckerd, is not his father by blood, but his father by title.
Gotcha. So,
I don't know the description of Eckerd necessarily. How would they look like they could be any way related, or
No.
way different?
Eckhart is kind of like tan. You'd say like maybe just a little darker than Mediterranean. And he's jacked. You know, he's got that like old man bod, but like the one that continues to pump iron. And he's tatted up.
The old man from Bleach.
You're just describing like
Don't
a
bring
farmer.
Gander here. Don't bring Gander
It took me
here.
forever to get through Naruto, and then someone told me that Bleach was like longer or something, or similar in length, so I said, no, fuck that. And then someone said One Piece, and I said, hell no, you hate me.
They're past 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, no thank you.
All
What are
right,
they?
so there's no physical resemblance between the two of them. Okay.
Yeah, yes. And if you had remembered, you probably would have been a little confused meeting him the first time. And said, that's odd. This guy could look like Calum
I don't know,
if Calum got old and tanned.
There's a
Within,
lot
like,
of
a tanning bed
different.
every day.
You could be a half this, a half that. I don't know who looks like what exactly. And like muscles aren't genetic.
Didn't I tell you guys about the dream that I had where I saw my parents' hut being burned?
No, I had to get that from a god. Whenever you did one of your rituals and we both went into it, it showed you a little bit of my past, and then it showed me a little bit.
Oh, that's what it was. Got it.
I was on the outside looking in on that one.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna keep asking if this is your dad or not every time I come here. So.
I got kicked out.
Okay.
The god was like, hey, why are y'all here?
I wasn't gonna
Get
say anything about them looking like completely different, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. And you don't know how magic works. They could have affected him at a young age.
Like tieflings.
What?
Like how they look completely different from what their parents are.
Oh. If it's like a reverse tiefling, what if his mom was like demon blood and then he just got nothing but regular ass human?
Oh, like the centaurs that are
Right.
literally all human, but they have two centaur parents.
They trick you too because they're still really freaking strong.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got distracted there. So we're not going to the pool, or can I still go to the pool? Because Volred
just-
can't go.
No, Volred pool.
Not until we understand what exactly is happening.
Okay.
I would say that you can go. You have no direct connection, but Volred going in the pool might be a little dangerous.
I'm gonna go dip my leg in it. We're back in like 45 minutes.
Did Eckerd didn't walk with us to the pool, right? He was just chilling at his rock.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just go. I don't know how big this island is. I don't remember how big this island is in and out of character. But
When you
I'm
say this island, you mean
we
like the
are on
valley?
an island?
Because this valley is on an island, and there is stuff outside of the valley.
Okay, but the valley is secret.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go on one of my little walks to look for where, like, the physical entrance might be, but also to look for a tree.
DM, before we just jump off of this, did Volred's ability to determine a magical door or gate pop off whenever he stepped into the water? Or was that just... I might have missed it because I was coming back at the end of that.
Yes, he kind of felt the portal as he was approaching, but he got the tingle on his skin because it is water from the Feywild. So that was actually both of his blessings working at the same time. One because of a portal, and then one because it was Feywild water.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hydrate.
While I'm at the pool, I will attempt to attune to Aranthir, just because hanging out up there by myself.
Okay.
While me and the sword are relaxing together.
Okay, you gonna spend some quality time?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah,
just an
Ranthir's
arm
gonna-
around the sword.
Hmm.
Hey,
This is kind of nice. I guess I should be happy I don't rust. You know,
I
being
was
a
going to
magic
ask
weapon
that.
and all.
I was going to ask that because the type of material you're made out of is... It's not steel. It's like, it's not really... How would that even work? And, like, you, like, bypass through defenses, so it's, like, ethereal? I don't know.
To be fair, I don't really know how it works either. I mean, I haven't been used in combat.
Mm. So I'm just gonna focus for a little while. If you want to help me focus here, and if this works, then yay. If it doesn't, we'll try it again some other time.
Okay.
All right. So it's a charisma save. It's not great.
Yep.
That's an 11. Ow.
Yep, that's actually fine.
Hey!
Yep. So, you managed to attune to Aranthir.
You all are talking a lot. Could you please? One at a time.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I managed to calm him down a little bit before we jumped in, but you know, new person, they're kind of like dogs, I guess. Just gotta see the new stuff.
Oh, that means us all can see Reggie now.
That is true, actually. Are you there?
I'm at the water. I'm just on the side. I didn't go in the pool because Volred's not
Yep.
in the pool.
I
There's that
thought I
weird
was
thing where,
alone
like,
the whole
yeah,
time.
after you've been there in the water, you're kind of like looking over and see Yandere, and he's got like some dude that's standing there, like he's carrying on a conversation with.
Reggie's in the
And
pool.
then Yandere's looking up while like this little spectral entity is like climbing up some of the rocks.
The fuck is that?
What do you mean?
The thing I'm pointing at. It's floating around you.
Floating around me?
Yeah. Look out.
Yandere like looks to the side as like, do you think he can see you now? Reggie's like, oh dear, I hope not. And look, I was like, we'll go over there and
Do you
help him
two
real quick.
do you two know each other?
This is Reggie. You can see Reggie now?
Right there. Can I see Reggie? Who the hell is that? I know Reggie.
Yeah, Aranthir's like, yes. Wait. Oh, you know what? I actually wasn't terribly sure because Yandere could already see him. So I didn't know. Apparently, I can give people the ability to see ghosts. That's really interesting. I'm sorry, I really wasn't aware. You know, like we talked about how we're not really sure what my abilities are because I haven't really got to use them. So apparently, I can help people see ghosts. Congratulations! Aren't I awesome?
Hi, Reggie.
Good bloody hell. Hello, is all.
Nice to see you. This is. I can go back to ignoring you if this is too weird, but now I guess I see you.
Well, at least you get to see what I look like, actually. And it's like Reggie is a relative. He's like a what you would consider a middle-aged man, but he's elf, so elven. At this point in time, he has kind of shorter, scruffy, ethereal gray hair, I guess, because he still appears to be a ghost, but long, defined features, but half the size of the ears of Yandere, because again, he's not a ladrin, he's an elf. He has a nicely tailored cloak that he wears, with like what would appear to be like embroidered edging on the side, and then a kind of flared out shoulder, and like long kind of tabard pants. Not really any feet because he's kind of just floating there, kind of tails off towards the end of that. But no other real defining descriptors.
Looking good, Reggie.
Why, thank you. It's I guess, good to feel observed.
Just gonna soak for a little longer.
Reggie like turns his back towards you and then floats to the other side of Yandere, and it's just like you see Yandere and Reggie like having a conversation. And now it's not so weird that Yandere is looking over his shoulder because you could always see that Reggie has a tendency to hang like over his left shoulder, and never really towards like the front or to the side where he can literally see him. It's always like kind of like a guiding spirit of sorts.
That explains it. Okay, sorry. I talked to her and there's like, so, and I explained what I perceive of what I've known of Reggie, which is just a voice that he heard. Like, so apparently he's a ghost. The spirit this whole time. And sometimes he's in charge.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. So, what do we do now?
I don't know. I think we're gonna go to the Feywild and murder some Archfey. Or reattach a head. I don't know, I'm not a surgeon, I'm more of the opposite one of that. But once they're ready to do it, we'll do it. Where the hell did Kelmac go? That's not good.
Somewhere, I suppose. And then Yandere, you and Reggie were inspecting the waterways.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, as stated, you can tell they're part of the Whispering or the Silver Falls, which I don't actually believe is on the map that I showed you because it's a smaller place. But the Silver Falls is a incredibly high waterfall that lies in that mountain range just south of the Throne of Falling Leaves.
because the water seems to come up from really high in the mountains, like up past the mist layer, and then just cascades down. It's a pretty popular place because the waters are said to have restorative powers. So it's a place pilgrims in along the Feywild like to travel. But no one actually knows where the water comes from.
Okay. And you said it was in near the Shattered Peaks?
Yes, it would be. You see that little spur of the Shattered Peaks that goes kind of northeast towards the Throne of Falling Leaves?
Yes.
It would be in there.
Okay.
Yeah. It lies on the eastern side near the Whispering Willows.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, Yandere would correlate that information over to Red. I guess the next question, sorry, Red,
Yes.
the portal that you felt, can you explain where exactly it is? I know that you said that you had a tingling feeling once you stepped into the water, but you never told me exactly where the portal was once you got into that.
Well, it's. You see at the top of the waterfall, right? Where the water seems to just be coming from.
Yes.
There.
Okay. Well, I guess for your knowledge, since you can see it and probably have, or will have a better understanding of it, that portal would lead to the Silver Falls. Essentially, where the rejuvenating magics and waters are coming from are directly connected to the Feywild. It's about a journey southeast of the Throne of Falling Leaves.
Context?
You know where we went to?
I was going to say it's a giant tree
Yeah,
in the middle of autumn.
You know where we went to get the star, correct?
Yes.
When we looked to the south of that, there was that big tree.
Oh, yes.
It's just southeast of that. So on the other side.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you for telling me.
No problem. Let's continue to stay out of the water for now, but I do appreciate you letting me know that you saw the portal.
I wanted to be. I wanted to communicate in haste.
It's appreciated.
No problem.
My only concern currently is I do believe the Wild Hunt is tracking you through your dreams. If we can avoid dreaming for a little bit longer until we figure out everything, I would greatly appreciate it.
Now that I know the connection and I completely understand, I certainly would not do that. I'm sorry for the trouble that this has caused.
I appreciate it. Also, just to clarify exactly what we are up against. When you saw this hunt, did they look like regular autumn elves, or do they look different in any way?
Well, I've never been to the Court of Autumn. I'm sorry. No, they did not look like the Court of Autumn elves. They looked different.
Darker? Like, if you can give me a descriptor, would help me pinpoint.
Like their
Yes.
attire?
Just them as a whole. They. My concern is that it's not the Pumpkin King that's sending the hunt. It would be Queen Mab herself. They could be what they consider the Dark Hunt or a corrupted hunt.
Can you describe what that might look like, and I might be able to confirm or deny?
Is it like your color palette swap you do sometimes in the morning?
Sort of. Except for these would be more contaminated. The very earth that they walk on would freeze. The air about them is dark.
Yes. Everything around was freezing within their presence.
So it is the Dark Hunt. They would be a little more difficult to down if we are to engage with them. I wouldn't advise fighting the hunt as it is, but the Dark Hunt, they don't die like normal things die. They're essentially the spirits of already dead things that have been brought back to life for the sake of participating in the hunt. Whereas something could just die and fall off and be replaced with something else, these entities basically just regrow themselves. In a sense.
So how do you kill one?
You stop the hunt. Which means we either need to control who's summoning the hunt, or we kill them.
So as long as you get that head,
Sorry, I was talking to the sword.
so as long as you get that head, then everything will be averted.
Well, I would have to return the head back to Serenus, but it would prevent a great deal of issue.
Understood. Whatever you say, I trust you have the best knowledge and intent to end this.
Yes. I'm gonna walk away for a bit. Feel a little agitated.
Understood.
And Yandre, walk off.
Okay.
Vored,
Yes, Azala.
what's this? I drink my moonlit potion and I make 5 copies of myself in the pool. Like, look how many there are.
This is some of the best entertainment I've seen in days.
They all beat me in rock, paper, scissors because they cheat.
Okay, hold on. Y'all did a formation, and now I can't tell which one's really you.
I have the sword. And they all hold up like imaginary swords. Like, okay, they also have them, but that's cheating.
And they're all talking to me, I assume.
They somewhat, it's like an echo, and some of the words are different.
Keep dancing.
I'm sitting in the pool. We are? This is a bad idea. Like, the water doesn't move around them. I'm about to get pruny. I should get out of here.
That would be for the best.
Just gonna get out of the pool now. And just walk away from it. As all the duplicates of me go the opposite direction, away from the pool, mimicking my movement. And some of them just disappear. I'm done.
Okay. Anything anyone else feel the need to do?
If we could waste 5 more minutes, we could prevent Caleb from doing his thing.
Fuck.
I got nothing.
Are you heading to
Yep.
place?
1000%.
I will say Caleb will deliberate for a little while. Kim, on the other hand, is running head first, pushing the red button.
Caleb is hemming and hawing. Kilmo is trying to wait the requisite number of time before he commits to doing something stupid.
Should I call first, or will they call me?
It's like, how much time do I need to wait before people, in order to let people think that I actually thought it through? But, yeah, we will go ahead and call it there tonight then, and we will return at a later date to figure out how badly that goes. Quick note, I will not be present next Tuesday. So we will have to follow up on the following week.
Which will be on a Wednesday that week,
Which
because
will be Christmas week.
we'll be on the 27th of December, the last game of the year for session 104, because we'll take a little bye week next week, and then a delayed special for the holidays.
Yeah. It seems kind of weird because you would think that we'd play and then have the week of Christmas off, but no, that's not the way that works. Unless we decide we want to play on Wednesday next week as well.
Oh, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Well, I mean, that's just up to you guys.
I got gym on Wednesdays.
Who's Jim? Are you who are you with?
I mean, you could also gym on Tuesday since we're not going to be doing anything on Tuesday, and then just replace it.
Logic.
Swap just that once. All right, I guess twice if we say we play Wednesday next week too. But anyway, yes. But thanks guys so much. Glad to have you guys around. Be sure to come back next time. We'll see if we can't figure out what Caleb is doing, and if he's about to make a decision that just pours gasoline on this fire that was lit today. As you can tell, everyone in the party is, you know what? I don't even want to look, do I?
Some good stuff going on there. We should go to the zoo.
Don't.
We should go to the zoo. Is what
Okay.
this is telling.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
Join us next session where we watch Caleb start a fire in another area while we're currently dealing with a current fire. Potentially next week. Or the week after that.
And see if Yandere and Volred fall through a mythical portal into the Feywild.
Oh,
Good night,
It could
everyone. Bye-bye.
Good
Thank you all for
night,
coming.
Neverland.
Mwah.